second here. We got waiting on our first guest to come in, but we have a special guest tonight, Ray, on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. It's good to have you in. It's almost like you're a special guest after about a month without you.
Yeah, I'm not. I missed like one day. I can miss others if you like.
No, we love it. We love it when you're here. And yeah, it's Arkansas. You get spring, summer, or spring, winter, and fall in 1 week. We had all that ice and snow, and duck season came and went. And
So the ice and snow, no big buck classic got pushed back this past weekend. You were there to cover it.
we were there to cover it, and I'll tell you what, Ray, it was a great show. They did it right by postponing it for 2 weeks. The weather was fantastic, and we had a new state record non-typical deer. And for people that don't really, here's our guest right here. For people that don't know the difference between deer, you have two different kinds. Antler styles. We love live radio, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Damon's in there trying to get the streaming up, and we can't get our guests on the air.
And so,
What in the was it Twilight Zone you got going there?
well, it is. Everybody knows when my phone goes off. And so, a guy named Stance Cochran won this last night with a new state record non-typical, and we're trying to get him on. And right now, we're gonna take a little a detour from that. We've got Bo Vandiver here with Headhunter Specialties in Gurdon. Headhunter Customs LLC, and they make long-range muzzle-loading rifles.
All right, I need to move you over to that microphone over there.
Long-range muzzle-loading rifles and centerfire rifles, and it is really, you've been on before, one of the coolest things in the world to see these muzzle-loading rifles that you've got. That are you're showing me some photographs here in the green room of 1,000-yard shots, dead centering targets. With a muzzle loader, that's hard enough to do with a centerfire rifle. With a muzzle loader, that's wild.
It is.
So, how did you all get the notion to start up a company like that and to come up with that niche or to fill that niche?
So we started playing with the smokeless when the Savage muzzleloaders came out, and just kind of followed the technology. They've come a long way with the ignition systems, where you were limited to 300-400 yards. We've stretched it out to 1,000 with the 45, and we do a 40 that's capable of a mile.
Yeah. And so tell me how it's because you talked about the Savage concept, and that kind of came and went. And those were really popular muzzle loaders.
Right. The breech plug on those didn't hold up. They couldn't take the pressure over a number of shots. With what we're doing, the breech plug can handle the pressure and can handle repetitive shots just over and over.
So what's your background that you were able to identify that problem and correct it, on a scale that supports a business?
Just being around firearms and having a background in machining and blueprints, just kind of tinkered with it and watched what other guys were doing and got with them.
We were talking about, barrels and the way barrels are made and everything. One of the things that's always really impressed me is how, you can take a barrel blank and put it in a lathe, I guess is what it is.
Right.
And have a starting point at one end of a 36-inch tube. It's not even a tube at that point, but you can start on one end and come out exactly where you need to on the other end without getting crossways in there and having it off-centered and everything. And some of this machinery is ancient.
Yeah, a lot of it's back to World War II, a lot of the equipment.
And so do y'all have your own equipment? You make them there in your own shops?
We actually source the barrel blanks. They're already rifled, but we do the machine work for the thread tenon that goes into the receiver, and, of course, thread for the muzzle brake or muzzle device, whatever a guy uses.
So what would a muzzle brake on a muzzle loader be like?
you wind up with probably 70% recoil reduction
Yeah.
in the muzzle brake.
But there's not that much recoil in a muzzle loader anyway, right?
When you run the kind of pressures and the velocities that we run, you wind up with some pretty stiff recoil.
The one time that I experienced that in an unexpected way, I was sighting one in and had the hardest kick of any gun I've ever experienced. It's like, wow, it was a TC, you know. And I go to the target because there's smoke everywhere, and I got banged up pretty good. I had to, you know, and I'll go to the target, and there's 2 holes in it.
One's a ramrod.
No, I guess I had not unloaded it from the season before
Oh,
and put
no.
a double charge in that thing, and it went on down range, and that's what happened. So at that point, I'm kind of kicking myself for being, you know, stupid, and then I, you know, kind of stuck my tongue up there and tasted, you know, an irony taste. Well, I got blood streaming down my face,
Uh-oh.
but not noticing. I got the scope across the eyebrow and got cut up pretty good. It's like, wow, you know, a lot of things just went wrong here. What would happen with one of your guns if somebody were to do something like that?
You would not want to do that. It would not be good. We're big on marking the ramrod
Yeah,
with a load in
yeah,
and checking it to double check and make sure that it's not double loaded,
yeah.
because it would basically be like a pipe bomb.
Ooh, wouldn't want that. So you could actually
It'd
blow
bl-
your barrel out.
It would blow up, yeah.
Well, yeah, I guess if you're using smokeless powder,
Yeah.
you would, yeah.
It would with these modern high powered black powder rifles too.
How do you, you know, I guess the question I've got is what led you into thinking, okay, there's a niche in this market that we can fill, and how do you go about designing, conceiving, and bringing a product like that out and finding a base for it?
So we started using them. You know, it was kind of a top secret type deal. We had something that, you know, gave us an edge, but they work so well that obviously other guys that want that extra range are going to get in on that too. So that's kind of why we brought them to the market.
So there's a whole lot of different smokeless powders out there, and you prefer 4895?
I run H4895. We do a lot of Hodgdon Benchmark, some M120. It's all dependent on the bullet weight. The big thing is getting a good clean burn because the bullets ride the bore. There's no sabot.
Right.
You can get the guys do understand. I don't know anything about guns.
You know, it's funny. We kind of had that conversation coming up the stairs. But yeah,
I know there's a muzzle loading season. I know that much.
well, see, that's another thing is there's not anymore. There used to be a muzzle loader season, and that's a question that I asked you the other day. Is that, you know, they got what they call an alternative firearm
Right,
season
the
now.
straight wall.
Yeah, where you can use straight wall cartridges, and a lot of people have just gone to, you know, straight wall center fire rifles and done away. And when that happened, I thought, well, heck, you know, you're not going to be able to give a muzzle loader away. And we're going to come back to that here on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We're going to take a little break. We're going to try to iron out our technical difficulties here, and we're going to continue visiting with Bo Vandiver of Headhunter.
Headhunter Customs LLC.
If you've not ever seen one of these muzzle loaders, you need to, and you need to shoot one. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern born and raised and Arkansas based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. One of the great blessings of living in Arkansas is the outstanding medical community we have right here in Little Rock. I just visited a young man who had a 15-hour surgery to remove a peach-sized tumor on his brain. He's still alive and doing well, all things considered. The skill of the doctors, nurses, and medical technicians saved this young man's life. It saves many lives. Thank God for these talented, dedicated people devoted to caring for others. They are literally lifesavers, healing angels. Double B supports all these wonderful Arkansans caring for their fellow Arkansans. Our 34 Double B's locations across Arkansas are here to help you navigate your busy schedules. Make a pit stop today, and we'll send you on your way with the things you need. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Arkansas Roundballers Big Joe Klein and Pat Bradley pontificate on Bet Saracen.
People ask me, what do basketball players know about football? What say you, Joe?
I explained that anyone can run up and down a grass field with a screwy-shaped ball, but it takes finesse to strategically launch a basketball from long distances at an 18-inch diameter steel hoop.
Dang, Joe, you sure are smart.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
All right, you're all set with a coat and scarf. Bundling up?
Yeah, it's freezing out there.
Want to bundle up some wins?
Wins?
It's the $5 bundle from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery. It's Powerball with Power Play, Lotto, and a free Natural State Jackpot ticket, all for just $5.
Wait. 3 chances for 3 jackpots for $5? Bundle me up.
Ask for the $5 bundle today. Must be 18 or older to play. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
And a shoot number 9 from Lukenbach, Texas. Here we come. Ray Tucker along with Brian Hendricks. You listen to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors here on 103.7 The Buzz. And you covered over the weekend the Big Buck Classic and came away really impressed.
36th annual Arkansas Big Buck Classic, and it was really special this year. It always is, but we had the deer that won that set the new record for largest non-typical ever killed in Arkansas. And it was unlike the deer that you normally see. It looked like it has 2 great big starbursts on both sides of its antlers. Scored 2. Well, I'll tell you what, the hunter that got that deer, his name is Stance Cochran of Washington, Hempstead County, old Washington. And Stance, welcome to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. Sorry for all of the miscues leading up to this moment.
Hello, how are y'all? Thank you for asking me to be here.
I love to, and congratulations, first and foremost, on a buck of a lifetime, a buck of anybody's lifetime. It scored what?
Well, it scored 257 and netted 243.
So for people that wondered what those numbers mean, there's a scoring system that the Arkansas Big Buck Classic uses, the Boone and Crockett scoring system for the Boone and Crockett Club. And what they do is they measure an antler, a set of antlers, I think based on a standard 8-point frame, and then they add or deduct to try to get it to as close as a perfectly symmetrical rack as they can, to come up with a number and it takes a total net score of 170 to make the all-time book for a typical rack. It takes 195 to make the all-time book for a non-typical rack. And yours, Ray, and yours got up there, exceeded that by a lot. And probably, I'm not going to say it won't be broken, but I'm going to say it probably won't ever be broken. The previous record was in place since 1999. That was a Prairie County rack killed. You got me all flustered, Ray. Killed by a guy named Billy Dooley, and you broke that. So starting with that, how did you become aware that this deer was on your property?
Well, I put out some game cameras this fall, and then just started, just checking them like I do every year, and kind of get ready, planting food plots and things of that nature, and I got this picture, and it's kind of funny. The first picture I took of him, it was on old camera, and it was sideways, on one side to me, and it was moving his head, and sometimes it's big, and really tell nothing about it. And I erased the picture because I thought it was something wrong. And anyway, it went on there, and finally, I don't know, it's a few days, a week or so later, I took this picture actually looking at it. And then that's kind of when I had to just kind of stop and scratch my head. I mean, and just pretty amazed at what I was looking at.
Are these cameras you all use, are they real clear? I mean, you knew what you were looking at?
Do what now? Yeah, the second time I did.
So I think what Ray's asking. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you.
I said the first time, I mean, he was moving his head. Sometimes when they move their head right when it takes the picture, it'll kind of be blurry, and you can't really, it's just a blurring, and you can't really tell it all kind of the horns kind of run together there. Mm-hmm. Well, there was a side. And but the next time it was just facing it right on, and you could tell all about it then.
So, at what distance was the deer from the camera when you finally got a good, clear photograph that you could make all that out?
Oh, I don't know, probably 40, 50 feet maybe.
Okay,
something like that. 50.
So as we were saying, that rack is really, really unusual looking. It's like it's got two big bursts of just points sticking out all over the place. What was your first thought when you saw that?
Kind of to see the shape and the way it was. It had that one little drop sign on it, and we don't see deer like that here, and or I haven't, and it was just amazing just to see, him standing there looking at it like this. It's, I don't know how to describe it any other way. Just it was something else. It got your attention real quick.
And so you had not been aware of that deer. A lot of people say, I've been watching this deer since it was 2 years old, and finally decided this year that it was big enough to take. You had not seen that one before that you knew of, right?
No, not that I knew of. Not, and with the shape of them horns like that, I've never seen that like that. I mean, if he didn't look nothing, he didn't have that type of shape of horns whatsoever.
Did Game and Fish give you a reason why those antlers look like that? Did they speculate that maybe he'd been injured at some point, or is it just genetics?
Yeah, and I mean, I've wondered. I've asked a lot of people, and nobody seems to really know. Like you say, normally, it comes from an injury or something other, but most times it'd be like on one side or something like that. And I could wonder, could it have been something maybe when he was in velvet, some kind of bug or a fly or something that they got in there, and maybe done something to them while they was in velvet or something other. And some people say, maybe of course go back to maybe genetics or something of that nature. But to have a straight answer, no, I don't have one, and I don't know one. I would like.
We're gonna take a little break here, Mr. Cochran. We'll be right back. If you'll stay with us, we'll talk a little more about a great buck, Hempstead County, on Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
This is Anthony Lucas, here to tell you about my favorite spot in Little Rock, Corky's. Sure, Corky's may look all ribs and barbecue on the outside, but did you know Corky's was also nominated for Central Arkansas's best catfish? And don't get me started on their chicken, shrimp, and nachos.
Those Big Joe burgers, Anthony.
Big Joe, when did you get here?
You really stealing my thunder, Anthony. Corky's is my place.
No way you love Corky's like me, Joe.
Talk to me when you have your own menu item, Lucas.
Corky's ribs and barbecue. You never know about Arkansas weather, but you can predict huge savings during Gwatney Buick GMC's Forecast Frenzy. The sale is crazy as an Arkansas weather map. Tomorrow could be a blizzard. Be ready with a 2026 4x4 Sierra, up to 20% under MSRP, or a 2026 Canyon 4x4 at just $399 per month. 2 days later might be a heat wave, and Gwatney Buick GMC has numerous pre-owned SUVs with removable tops in stock. And if the weekend's a monsoon, the front-wheel drive 2026 Encore GX will get you there at just $199 per month. Gwatney Buick GMC's Forecast Frenzy sale. You never know about Arkansas weather, but according to Radar, the savings are coming in hot. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit Sierra based on MSRP of $55,370 with loyalty. Canyon and Encore are low mileage leases. See dealer for details.
BKC Home Builders are the premier home builders, providing custom builds and remodels. No matter what size your dream is, BKC will walk you through all the phases, from house plans to landscaping, to make your custom home as beautiful as you imagine. The team at BKC will be with you through the entire process. If you're looking for commercial building or remodeling, BKC has your commercial needs covered as well. BKCHomebuilders.com or find them on Facebook. That's BKC Home Builders in Hot Springs.
In today's digital world, compliance isn't just a box to check, it's a necessity. Network Services Group will help you navigate the complex landscape of cybersecurity regulations, making sure your business stays compliant and secure. Stay ahead of the curve. Focus on what really matters, growing your business. Network Services Group, your partner in compliance for banks and medical organizations.
Network Services Group. One call does it all.
This is Justin Acree. If hand or wrist pain is getting in the way of your daily life, it's time to see the specialists at the Orthopedic and Spine Hospital at UAMS Health. Their fellowship-trained hand and wrist surgeons treat everything from arthritis and fractures to nerve injuries and carpal tunnel. And with Arkansas's only hand trauma telemedicine program, advanced care is available around the clock. Call Ortho at 501-686-TOSH to schedule your appointment today and get back to living pain-free. That's 501-686-8674. The doctor will see you now.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Time now to visit with Neil Atkinson with Sarah's Casino Resort. We just finished up the Super Bowl, Neil. You had to be in heaven this weekend.
Oh, well, it was busy, and you add the Olympics coverage over that one. It surely was a lot to keep up with, and you know, with all that going on and how much activity that we had, you know, making sure all the tech works good. I do have some fingernails left because it went real well this weekend as far as tech and uptime and availability and all the stuff when you have a peak load on a system like you do with the Super Bowl. So it was a great weekend overall in sports, and players, you know, did pretty good on Saturday, especially with Arkansas winning and easily covering the spread.
All right, I guess we can go hog wild now. You got hog baseball this week, hog basketball tomorrow against LSU, and you got women's softball.
just going from Super Bowl promotion straight into a 75% profit boost. Arkansas at LSU tomorrow. That line is Arkansas is at LSU. They are favored by 5.5 points. Remember, they played LSU a couple of weeks ago and were 9.5 point favorites in Fayetteville and did not cover. So that line's a little bit closer on the road. The over and under on that one is, as it just updated, as I was getting ready to say it, is 161.5 on that one there. Make sure you check that promo page. And while we're going hog wild, hey, we can bet that the Hogs will make the Final Four. We have a Final Four 50% protection. That way you will get half your bet back up to $50 if the Hogs do not make the Final Four. So that's a great promotion right there for you also if you want to take advantage of that.
Somebody asked me this, do you do gymnastics?
Gymnastics would only be covered during the Olympics. We would not be covering college gymnastics or U.S. Olympic trials. But the gymnastics is bettable only during the Summer Olympics at this point.
Neil, appreciate you very much. And folks, download the app, BetSaracen.com. Thank you, Neil.
Good luck, everybody.
And we're back with Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we're talking with Stance Cochran of Washington down in Hempstead County, and we're talking about the buck. We're talking about the buck that he got back in October of 2025 that won the Arkansas Big Buck Classic last night.
That's my bad.
That's all right.
And cutting Neil off, I actually cut
our
Stance
guest
off.
Well, all right. So we'll have him call.
Well, Damon's working on him right now.
All right.
Folks, it's not like this all the time, folks. If you're listening for the first time, I apologize to you.
So anyway, we're talking about this buck that he got, and I want to say this also. Were you there? Did you see the show last night from the stage when they were doing the best of show and all that?
No, I was packing up.
With all respect to Mr. Cochran's buck, which is unlike anything you'll ever see, one of the nicest ones that they had was this kid that got one in Prairie County that was like, 14-point thing that just stretched out from one time zone to another. But we're back with Stance Cochran right now, and we've just been kind of muddling through this, Stance. You said you were nervous calling up. I'm falling apart here with everything going on. But welcome back to Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors, and we were talking about before the break being able to identify a deer that you hadn't seen before on camera. And so take us from there. You identified this and found out this deer was on your property. And how do you go about setting up a hunting strategy to harvest that buck?
Well, I didn't do a lot of changing, really. I like to hunt, I watch the wind a lot. I've got a lot of old permanent stands around my old farm here. And, we plant food plots, and I'm not going to lie, we put out the wind feeders, and it's a cattle farm, and it's just fields, and it's mix of, woods around it. And a lot of times, the wind can be your best friend or your worst enemy, And I know one of the cameras, which I was taking the most pictures of the deer, wasn't the majority of the pictures of the deer. When the season come in, I never could hunt him because the wind was always in the wrong direction. And, of course, I was scared to go in there and bump him out. Go to bump him out 2 or 3 times. And I afraid I'd run him out of it, And so I wouldn't go in there.
So when you see a deer like that, you start breaking out in a sweat, and your knees start knocking. You had a good idea. You had a real humdinger here.
Oh, I knew he was a good one. Or in my mind, it was a good one. That would just be all I ever seen. I never had no deer like that on my place, and it was just amazing.
When you were talking about the wind not being right, what does that mean? And what kind of a wind did you need for the stand that you were wanting to get that deer out of?
Well, I'd say the which I don't remember exactly. The wind would be coming out of the east or the north, and it would be blowing right. That's what I needed. And then if it was coming out of the southwest or anything like that, it would blow be blowing my scent just more or less right to or in the direction that they would be traveling the more the fan was set. But that's the side that I was catching, taking most of the pictures on. The little block of wood, I was hunting on the other side of that set of woods. I started hunting the work with, the wind would be right for that side. And that's where I was lucky enough to finally harvest it.
Was it a lean-to stand or a box?
No, it's a box stand. It's a wood box stand.
So when you approach a stand like that, for example, when I hunt, I walk in usually about 3/4 of a mile to not make any noise with a four-wheeler or anything like that. I come in quiet. Do you drive to your stand, or how do you approach that?
Well, I do drive fairly close. I mean, I say fairly close. I stay out a few hundred yards, at least, and then I'll walk in the rest of the way.
Well, obviously, the way you do it's better than the way I do it, because I take all these pains not to make any noise and keep my scent down and everything. I'll never even come close to seeing anything near like what you got. Tell us about, do you do any kind of management as far as what do you put down as far as food plots and things like that?
Plots, I just use the winter mix, winter and fall mix, like wheat and clovers and things of that nature. Just a fall blend kind of.
So what's the winter's package for the big buck this time?
Mm-hmm. What all did you win? You got the Can-Am?
I won that Can-Am. Was it the Defender 1000? And what's the trophies? And then some different Raging Boar Outdoor Innovations. They give us some scent blockers and stuff. And there was assortment of stuff, gels, and then I guess it'd be the big buck classic jackets, will be coming, and it was a assortment of things.
Did you win a rifle and some ammo?
No rifles. I did win some ammo.
Now you got that deer with a Savage and 350 Legend, right?
Yeah, it's a Savage. That's the brand of it. It's a 350 Legend. That's what it was. A little straight wall gun.
And what range did you shoot the deer at?
What range did you say?
Yeah, distance.
About 80 yards.
80
yards. Say something like.
And
80 yards.
Pretty clean kill. Did it run very far?
Loop went just a little ways. Made a loop down in the woods. I don't know. It might have. Time it made the loop, it might have went 70, 80 yards again, maybe. But he kind of down and up behind where I originally shot him at right there, but he didn't go far.
Who was the first person you called after you won?
After I won?
Yes.
Well, I guess I didn't call nobody. My son was there with me. You talking about it yesterday at the Classic?
Yeah, at the Classic. It was a big moment. You were talking about what did it feel like, to win, to get the deer of the lifetime. What was the feeling that you had, real quick?
Lord, I can't even describe it. It was just overwhelming, you might say.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Cochran, we're getting ready to go into another break here, and it has been fantastic visiting with you again. Thank you for your time last night after your big moment, and thank you for calling us here at Red Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. And we hope that next season is as good or better than this one. And that would be hard to do, but be safe down there, okay?
All right. Thank you.
Congratulations. Back with more in just a moment.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Superstars Joe Klein and Pat Bradley for Arkansas's #1 sports app, Bet Saracen.
Joe, you know the main difference between Bet Saracen and those other guys?
Definitely. Easier to navigate. Always good parlays. Plus, lots of fun choices. Like ping pong, right there on the app.
But the real difference are those special promos.
Brand new players get a 100% profit boost just for downloading the Bet Saracen app.
Gambling problem? Call 800-GAMBLER.
This is the Pigskin Preacher, bringing you the word. John Calipari pulled off a coup when he persuaded Darius Acuff to leave his Michigan home for Fayetteville. Acuff is not just one of the best freshmen in college basketball, but one of the very best players in all of the game. He is the rare talent who can put a team on his back and win a championship. And if that happens, everyone in the natural state will be jubilant, with the possible exception of Stan, who might have to stop calling into the buzz for a while. At Double B's, you'll always find clean restrooms because you matter to us. That's why we always have monthly specials, so you can save a little do-re-mi. Double B's. It's where you gas it, grab it, and go. That's Double B's.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Have questions about retirement, investments, or your money? Call our financial hotline. Dial 501-381-5228 and leave a voicemail with your specific financial question, and our experts will answer it on the Get Ready for the Future show Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Get your financial questions answered by the pros. 501-381-5228. Call now. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Independent Advisor Alliance. Independent Advisor Alliance and GenWealth Financial Advisors are separate entities from LPL Financial.
Razorback Foundation members, it's time to renew your membership. Annual Fund Pledge renewals are now open and due March 31st. Renew now by visiting RazorbackFoundation.com or text RENEW to 479-349-4313. Be part of the tradition for the new era of Razorback football under Coach Silverfield. Renew your Razorback Foundation membership today. Text RENEW to 479-349-4313. Go Hogs!
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
All right, so we're bouncing around a little bit. It is basketball season, so hey. All right, so we had the Big Buck Classic winner on. You know, first thing I said when I saw the paper yesterday, and I said, "Oh, what a rack!"
Yeah, yeah, it really was a great rack.
I had to say that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Anyway, all right.
There's the greatest collection of racks in the state at Barton Coliseum.
How was it? Since they had them rescheduled, how was attendance?
It was great. You know, the weather was fantastic. You know, Saturday, Sunday, and Friday, so it was fantastic. The chili cook-off actually had a line to get in The Midway was great. All the vendors showed up. It was I don't know if they had record attendance, but it was really, really good.
Every time Murchison was happy.
He was happy. They got that that show done pretty quick because they knew everybody wanted to get out and go see the Super Bowl, and that was right in the middle of everything. So they ran through that the award ceremony pretty quickly, but everybody still got proper recognition, and nobody felt like they were rushed. It was nice.
Next year, the Super Bowl is on Valentine's Day.
Well, that's not very smart either.
No.
All right, so
it'd be a sweetheart of a game. Huh?
So we're back here with Bo Vandiver of Headhunter Specialties.
Headhunter Custom.
Headhunter Custom, and we were talking about these great products you made, but there's something else that you wanted to kind of talk about.
Yeah, so we've started a 501c3 nonprofit, and it's based around these smokeless muzzleloaders. We're going to try to start matches and actually bring people in and compete with these smokeless muzzleloaders. Going to try to get it out into other states, have affiliate chapters, but it'll be based here.
I like your thinking. Go big.
Go big.
Go big.
One of the things, I'm a reloader, and I do, up to 30 calibers, really the farthest I go, but you really have to calibrate the powder you're using to get a certain amount of burn with that bullet down, at a certain point in the barrel so that you get the pressures and everything. And, I've got powders that I like.
Right.
How did you decide on the powder that you like? And Kendall uses a different one than you do even.
Right. So there's software out there that will calculate the burn rate.
Mm-hmm.
You tell it what caliber, what length barrel, the bore diameter, and all that, and it'll guess where you're going to be.
Yeah.
And then outside of that, it just comes down to testing, actually going out and trying different loads.
So tell us about, you showed them to me, and they were really wild looking. They almost look like miniature shells that they shot out of battleship guns in World War II.
Right. So those are Pittman Aeromaxes. Kyle Pittman in Tennessee makes those specifically for these type rifles. Makes them all the way from a 275 to a 350 and a 45, and then he's got 40 caliber bullets as well.
So the one that you like is a 45 cal?
Yeah, that's my hunting setup.
So if you were going to make like a 27 caliber, or I guess you could probably make a 6.5 millimeter one if you wanted to, right?
You can. They're just really, really finicky,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than bore riding, you have to full size. You have to have a piece of the barrel and actually engrave it with the riflings.
Yeah.
In order to get it to build the pressure and shoot.
So, when you put a sabot bullet down a muzzle loader, you got a certain amount of resistance. What is it like to try to seat a bullet that doesn't have one that's riding the lands?
So we shoot for 2-finger pressure. That's about as much pressure as it takes to load when one is set up the way we like it. That gets you the best accuracy, the most consistent charge.
So it's actually easier to push one of those down than it is?
It's really easy.
I'll be darned. But the tolerances are so tight.
The barrels are really, really consistent in diameter from one end to the other. They have to be, or the bullet it'd fall out or you wouldn't get it in.
Right.
It's got to be consistent.
So if you've got any kind of residue from your last shot built up in there, you said it's hard to seat the next one.
Right. So rifle powder is hygroscopic. So the residue crystallizes. In Arkansas, we have high humidity.
Mm-hmm.
So if you shoot it and let it sit, that crystallizes. We take a brush and brush the barrel out, and the next shot goes in fine.
Is there any difference, like, say, between 48-95 and 30-31, any differences the way those act after they're shot?
So 30-31 for our purposes, is a dirtier burn.
Right.
So you get a lot of residue with it.
You don't want that then?
You don't. Yeah, you want something in the powder, the range that we use, you got to be close to that same burn rate. That's the difference in powders, the burn rate.
So that's a kind of a fine line. Those are pretty slow burning powders, but you've got to make sure it all burns up before that bullet gets out of there.
Right.
Okay. And I guess that reloader program kind of helps you decide what that is.
It gives you a starting point.
Okay.
Yeah.
And tell us about the stocks and the scopes that you put on these things.
So we range on stocks. You know, we use a lot of the names that people are familiar with, the Macmillans, Manners. There's some little lesser known like the Grayboe. But we also do some custom, you know, Richard's Microfit, that real pretty rosewood that we had there. That was a custom wood stock.
So you had a booth, Big Buck?
We did.
How did that turn out for you?
It turned out pretty good. Yeah.
So
There's
tell us
a lot of interest there.
Tell us about the guns. They're these aren't the kind of prices that you're going to find at the big box stores. You're going to invest in these.
Yes.
It's an investment.
It is. It's an investment. It's, you know, they're full custom, you know, from the action to the barrel to the stock to all the, you know, the handwork that goes into putting one together. But you know what you're going to get on the end. And like for us, I build center fires as well. But we carry these smokeless muzzleloaders even during rifle season because we get the same range and even more knockdown.
So how much thought went into opening up your own company and say, let's go for it?
Quite a bit. You know, I've kind of tested the waters and done it on the side, you know, quite a bit, just done it for friends and family. And, you know, we got a good enough result, you know, enough interest that we decided to go ahead and move forward and go full time.
You know, one of the things that I was thinking about, we talked about it, was, you know, when Game and Fish allowed the straight wall center fires in what used to be muzzleloader season, I thought, well, heck, you won't be able to give away a muzzleloader in Arkansas, but with you all, it didn't hurt you.
Yeah, and, you know, a lot of guys said with the straight walls, they're going to take over.
Yeah.
Well, for a guy that just doesn't want to clean a dirty muzzleloader and only shoots 150, 200 yards, it's a good choice for them. But for the guys that want to go out west or have longer ranges, that's where these shine.
So you take custom orders. It's not like somebody's going to go on the internet and see a picture of one and buy it.
Yeah, I actually have a website, too.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a website. HeadhunterCustomsLLC.com is the website. So you can actually go on there and configure a muzzleloader and get an idea of what you want, and then we finish the process.
So this is not for the average Joe. You got to know what you're doing here.
You do have to know what you're doing.
All right, we're going to take a pause. Back with more Bo Vanderwood right after this.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters.
Hi, this is Joe Klein, former Razorback and owner of Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
And I'm Anthony Lucas, also a proud former Razorback and Corky's Barbecue regular customer.
We may represent different sports in different decades, but all generations of hogs agree.
Corky's is the only place to get the most delicious ribs and barbecue at a winning price.
So stop into Corky's now and every day for never-ending specials.
Corky's,
where the hogs come home, baby.
Corky's Ribs and Barbecue.
Down south, a handshake means something, and we let our actions do the talking. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm is rooted in Southern tradition and grit. Southern born and raised and Arkansas based, Brad Hendricks is named a Mid-South super lawyer year after year. So for car and big truck wrecks, medical malpractice, wrongful death, bankruptcy, and Social Security claims, his law firm produces results. The Brad Hendricks Law Firm. Southern roots, serious results.
You'll never know about Arkansas weather, but you can predict huge savings during Gwatney Buick GMC's Forecast Frenzy. The sale is crazy as an Arkansas weather map. Tomorrow could be a blizzard. Be ready with a 2026 4x4 Sierra up to 20% under MSRP, or a 2026 Canyon 4x4 at just $399 per month. 2 days later might be a heat wave, and Gwatney Buick GMC has numerous pre-owned SUVs with removable tops in stock. And if the weekend's a monsoon, the front-wheel drive 2026 Encore GX will get you there at just $199 per month. Gwatney Buick GMC's Forecast Frenzy sale. You never know about Arkansas weather, but according to Radar, the savings are coming in hot. 5700 Landers Road in North Little Rock. Call 501-945-4444. GwatneyBuickGMC.com. GMC, we are professional grade. All offers with approved credit Sierra based on MSRP of $55,370 with loyalty. Canyon and Encore are low mileage leases. See dealer for details.
It's Justin Acree for Coffin by Design West. Shop with the local folks and get exactly what you want. You can also shop from the convenience of your own home by going to KaufmanLumber.com. There's an online store with over 800,000 items in inventory that can be delivered straight to your front door. Items in inventory include everything from hardware to housewares, heating and cooling supplies, lawn and garden tools, sporting goods, store and office supplies, and there's a huge range of products in each area available. So go by their store in West Little Rock at 14900 Cantrell Road, or do your shopping online at KaufmanLumber.com.
For 55 years, you've trusted Sigma Supply for all your packaging and shipping needs. And now, as part of Brady Plus, they've got even more to offer. From janitorial supplies, facility supplies, and food service disposables, Sigma Supply has you covered. Ordering is a breeze with over 50,000 new products online at SigmaSupply.com. Call or text sales manager David Breitenberg at 501-617-4600 and ask for the Buzz discount now, because it's there. And remember, if you're not using Sigma Supply, that is now part of Brady Plus, you've got low-grade product, man.
Ray Tucker here for Honda of North Little Rock. If you're a fan of the Triumph motorcycles, I have good news for you. Honda of North Little Rock carries the legendary classics to the cutting-edge rides. We carry Daytona 600, the iconic Bonneville Bobber, the TF450X, the stunning Bonneville Elvis Presley Edition, plus the Rocket 3 Evel Knievel. We have gear, bikes, and full service for Triumph enthusiasts, and much, much more. Come see us at Honda of North Little Rock, your family fun headquarters. Welcome back to the final segment of Ray Tucker's Arkansas Outdoors. We talked with Stance Cochran, the winner of the Big Buck Classic over the weekend, and congratulations, Tommy, and all the folks out there put on a great show. And despite the fact that he got snowed out and had to reschedule, we have in the studio with us Bo Vanderver from down in Gurdon. He has a company called Headhunters Muzzle Loaders, and you are looking to kind of branch out and get other people across the United States and come up with maybe a national association.
That's right. Yep. We've started a nonprofit, and we're going to try to get some affiliate chapters going, try to host a couple of shooting events throughout the year, and have it all boil down to a national championship here.
You have any place in mind that you might want to have this event?
Not really. We're still working on that.
A little early, too early for that.
Yep.
They do have a place here called Twisted Barrel, not too far from where we are right now, that they've got a range long enough. I think they've got a 1 mile range, maybe even a longer one than that now.
Right. Yeah. We may talk to them and see what we can work out.
What is the what is the environment? Every part of the state has kind of a hunting personality, I would say. And you're part of the state, Gurdon and on around in there. How would you describe that, and what facilitated, the mindset that you would want to create a product like yours and then run with it and make something bigger out of it?
So, like where we are down there, there's not a lot of open ground, but you have all the clear cuts and the cut lanes, so there's some distance that needs to be addressed when you're hunting. Over in the river delta, you've got all the farm fields that are wide open, so we're kind of catering to the longer range stuff. We go hunt the Midwest, Kansas, Oklahoma, where it's wide open. You might not have 2 trees in a mile.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we've tried to cater to, the longer distance, and that's where we stand out from the straight wall type stuff. And then if the guys don't like muzzleloaders, we also do center fires, you know.
And your center fire guns are works of art too. All of them are, but either way you'd want to go, you'd have a keepsake rifle, an heirloom rifle.
Exactly.
So, Bo, if I call you up and I tell you what I want, and you're gonna custom make it, what kind of time frame are you looking at?
Depending on what you want exactly, if I've got the stuff that I need in front of me, literally can build one in a couple of days. Now, another thing that sets us apart, I don't just build it and tell you to come get it. We take them out. Kendall and I will take them and shoot them and verify it'll do what you need it to do. It meets our standards before you ever get a chance to pick it up.
And you have a website.
I do. HeadhunterCustomsLLC.com.
Tell us about the scopes. Y'all put the scopes on them, right?
We do. Yeah, they're set up ready to go, you know, unless you want to do your own thing there. But we run an Arkin Optics.
Well, how'd you decide on that name?
So these guys in Sugar Land, Texas, ex-military guys, started those. And we stumbled across them and decided to give them a try. You know, these muzzleloaders will run upwards of 8,000 foot-pounds of energy. So they're taxing on an optic.
Shake them up pretty good, don't they?
And they've held up really well. They track, you know, we go back and forth from 1,000 to 600 to 300 and back, you know, wind calls and all that. And they always come back where they need to be.
It always amazes me how many friends I have that have lots of guns. And that's kind of their thing. You got guys who are into cars, and there are people who are into guns.
Right. And these are I know they're an investment. They're not cheap. They're not your, you know, off-the-shelf type gun. But they also hold their value.
Yep.
You know.
So your 45 cal that you shoot, what weight bullet is that?
I shoot a 328 grain bullet.
Big, heavy thing. So if you're shooting 700 yards, what are you looking at as far as wind drift and dispersion and all that kind of stuff?
So we run a ballistic program.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we run everything through a chronograph. That 328 will leave the barrel close to 3,200 feet a second. So I plug it into the ballistic calculator, and it gives me the actual hold. You know, we'll dial the scope for whatever it tells us. And then wind drift, it goes back to the same thing. You've got to know how fast it's moving and how fast the wind is blowing, what direction to get your hold.
How would you describe the ballistic coefficient of those bullets versus, you know, a Sierra game hunter or something like that?
So the way these bullets are designed, they've got a long ogive.
Mm-hmm.
The ballistic coefficient for what it is, being such a big bullet, is high.
Yeah.
You know, they'll run over a 0.6 at the velocities that we run.
Well, for you know what we're talking about, muzzle velocity at 3,200 feet per second, you're up there around the speed of a 7 mag with something that a bullet that weighs twice as much.
Weight. Yes, we're approaching the energy of a 50 BMG.
Wow.
Bo Vandiver, always a pleasure to have you in here. Best of luck with you. Anytime we have, keep us posted on how you're doing with other associations across the country, different states, and make this into a national deal, and maybe we can have a national event here in Arkansas.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having us.
All right, appreciate it very much. Tell Miss Anita Cave down in Gurdon I said hello.
Will do.
All right, you folks have a great week, and we will catch you again next Monday night. We'll be on at 8 the next 3 Monday nights. After Coach Calipari's show is over with, we'll move back to our regular time slot of 7 o'clock. Much better.